Thank you very much. First to Chris and Tina Maroney, thank you so much for opening your home. Let's give them a round of applause. Your front lawn will never be the same, I want you to know. But hopefully it's worth it. To my colleagues and friends from Albany, got me into trouble. We did have dinner for the Senate, but the Senate is much smaller than the Assembly. And the Assembly got a lot of donuts when they came. Don't worry. But first to Assemblyman Bill Magnarelli, we've known each other for many, many years. He's a personal friend. He's been very helpful and kind to me when I was in the Attorney General's office and even before that. He does a great job representing the district. Let's give him a big round of applause. Senator John DeFrancisco, don't worry, Chuck Schumer will never hear about what you said today. No one will repeat it. It was all between us. The senator is exactly right. When we started in January, it was very important for me and for the Assembly members and senators to establish a different way, to establish a different tone, because let's be honest, Albany hadn't been working that well for many, many years. And we said we have to do it differently. And we have to start by putting the politics aside. One of the problems with Albany, other states also, there's just too much politics. You know, I always get a kick out of watching how whatever the vote in a legislative body, it seems all the Democrats vote one way and all the Republicans vote the other way. Whatever the issue is, all the Democrats one way, all the Republicans vote the other way. It can't be that all the Democrats always agree with all the Democrats and all the Republicans always agree with all the Republicans. What it really is that they are voting their party vote rather than what's in the interest of the people of the state or their district. And we set a different tone. And we did put the politics aside, and we said, let's work together. Let's work in the best interest of the people of this state. They sent us here to represent them. Let's get it done. And we did. And Senator DeFrancisco went out of his way to reach across the aisle and to be a partner with me, and I truly appreciate it. Let's give him a round of applause, Senator John DeFrancisco. My other colleagues from the Assembly and Senate are here, and I want to welcome them. We just finished what's called the legislative session. Legislative session is basically from January to June, when the state legislature sits in Albany and passes legislation, gets a budget done. And we finished a couple of weeks ago, and by all fair accounts, we had a very, very productive session. And I hope you're seeing that, and I hope you're feeling it, and I hope you believe it here. You look at the list of accomplishments. We started by balancing the state budget. It had a $10 billion deficit. We closed the deficit without raising taxes. We got that done. We passed ethics reform in Albany, clean up Albany, more transparency and more disclosure. We got that done. But probably the single most important piece of economic progress, in my opinion, is what we're here to talk about today, which is the property tax cap. I can't tell you how many people have come up to me from one end of the state to the other, by the way, and complained about the property taxes that they're paying. The old question used to be when you went to buy a house was, could you afford the mortgage? Now the question is, can you afford to pay the property taxes? I can't tell you how many people came up and said, I have to sell the house. I have to move out of the state. I just can't afford the property taxes anymore. We pay some of the highest property taxes in the United States of America. This is a real New York problem. This is not just the cost of doing business. This is particular to New York, and it's gone on year after year after year. Every year, property taxes are going up 6%, 7%, 8%. Why? Because the government needs more money. Yeah, but how about the homeowner? How about the taxpayer? Where are they supposed to get 6% more money every year? House isn't going up 6%. The income's not going up 6%. The savings account isn't going up 6%. But the government just keeps asking for more money. Well, the news to government is that this is not an ATM machine for government. This is a home. This is the Maroney's home, and you can't just keep raising taxes and expect the taxpayers to pay for it. What the property tax cap says is it's very simple. It caps the increase in property taxes at 2% or the rate of inflation, whatever is less. Period. If it really has to be overridden, the local community can override it with a vote of 60% or more. But that's the property tax cap. And Senator DeFrancisco is right. They started talking about a property tax cap in the 70s, literally 1970s. 1980, the state of Massachusetts passed it, and it worked very well. In the 90s, they proposed it in New York. And then we've been talking. Well, this year in Albany, we actually got something done. And we acted. And we brought real tax relief to the people of this state, and that's what it's all about. My last point is I want to thank Bill, and I want to thank John, and I want to thank Patty and David and Will for being here today. And I want to thank them for the partnership that they showed a new governor in Albany. They were kind to me. I was a rookie. They could have taken advantage. Once in a while, they did take advantage, by the way. But at the end of the day, we worked very well, and we worked well together. I ran into a lady a couple of days ago, and she came up and she said, I just want to thank you for what you did in Albany. And I said, well, are you talking about marriage equality, talking about the tax cap? She said, no, I want to thank you for allowing me to believe in the future of the state of New York again. And I think that's probably the greatest accomplishment that we had. The government worked for the people of this state. And people feel good about the future of this state once again. And that's what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, what the entire enterprise is about and what everything we do in Albany is to make sure these young people who are in the front row have the same opportunities, the same life that we had in this great state. And I want to make sure that they know, and my little ones at home know, and your little ones know, that home is New York, and you're not going anywhere. We want you to stay right here and have every advantage that we had. Thank you, and God bless you.